All right. Hello and welcome everyone to Women's Speakers Association's WSA TV premiere show. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer, and I'm super excited about today's show. Why? Because we're talking about a topic called women's leadership, but not just about women's leadership, but what is it? What does it look like? How can people embody it? Why is it important? And I want to have you meet our experts who are going to talk about that today. And let's go over to Cher. Cher, hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cher Cunningham. I'm a leadership confidence coach. I'm here in Midland, Ontario, and you can find me online at chercunningham.com.
Welcome, Cher, and let's say hi to Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda Healer. I'm a professional certified coach, and I'm here in Rochester, New York. And you can find me at liveinspiredlifecoaching.com.
Welcome, Linda and Lorianne.
Hi, I'm Lorianne Speaks, and I happen to be a virtual workforce expert. And my website is www.lvsconsultingservices.com, and I'm in the Los Angeles area.
Nice. So we've got our country covered here, and we're going to have a rich conversation about what does women's leadership look like, and what advice can we start talking about and give people today. And feel free, if you're on Facebook, to chime in and let us know your thoughts on what women's leadership looks like. How can we make a different, bigger impact as women? And I want to start with each of you here, who are my little expert panel today, talking about women's leadership, this really big topic, this really important topic, and why it's important. So, Cher, what advice can you give to viewers about women's leadership, what it looks like, and how to make a greater impact?
Thanks, Laura. Women in leadership is an interesting question because so often as women, we don't even realize we are leaders. We can sometimes know that we are role models, but not necessarily that we embrace that leadership role. Often I find that the women that I work with are uncertain. They don't feel like they're really enough. And some of them are suffering from imposter syndrome. Why me? Why should I be a person who decides to be a leader? And it really is a decision. So I take women in leadership from that place of feeling weak and overwhelmed to discover the strength that actually is inside each of them, so they can be authentic leaders using their own skills and strengths and resources to have that bigger impact, whether it's on their family, on their community, on the role in an organization, or on the world. Depends on where they're looking to make that difference. They need to step away from some of that anxiety to get underneath and find their leadership superpowers.
Getting over imposter syndrome, that's some of us don't even know we have that, right?
Absolutely. People don't necessarily know that they're a leader. And when they're told that, they might shy back and say, no, no, not me. But even your women speakers may say, I'm a keynote speaker, not really a leader. And yet, as soon as you embrace that leadership, you ground yourself. You have that foundation that has that intention coming forward to have a bigger impact and really build a bigger brand.
Right. You're a leader where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace it and grow it. So, Linda, why don't you add to that and say, why is this important, and what does women's leadership really look like, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, you made a really great point there, Laura, is that we are leaders wherever we are right now. And so our job is, if we so choose to be leaders, which I'm hoping that women will continue to step up and lead, is that how do we grow our leadership? And as Cher was saying, you have to take on all of those things, the voice in your head that says that you can't. You have to deal with other people and creating different relationships. But the one thing that I think is really, really important for leaders is self-care. There is an amazing amount of energy that it takes to be a really good, effective leader, because we want to really be aware of not just what we're doing, but who we're being in the world. And if we're tired and we are not taking care of ourselves, and it's not just the physical taking care of ourselves, but what do we want for the future? How are we taking care of our emotional state? Are we dealing with all of these emotions that are coming up as we're dealing with all of these leadership type issues that are coming up? And I will tell you, we have to deal with diversity of personalities. And that can be very, very draining. So we really need to be very aware of taking really, really super good care of ourselves.
You know, we often think about self-care and just in terms of taking care of ourselves for ourselves, but you made a good point up because we have to deal with so much of different energies from other people, and
Mm-hmm.
really build up our strength. And I think, Sherry, you were pointing to that too, is build up our inner strength, take care of ourselves, make ourselves know that we're important, who
Yes.
we are as we are, because we care about people, we care about passions, we care about the world at large. That makes us a leader. That's what I'm getting from what you two have said so far. And now, Lorianne, I want to go to you and ask you about, well, what does women's leadership really mean and what do we do about it?
Well, I think once you have taken that step to say, yes, I am a leader and embracing that, we need to get the message across. And part of that includes being more vocal on social media, getting on all the platforms, and making sure that you're following the people that are the influencers that you agree with, or possibly even disagree with, and comment. Get on social media, make yourself more visible.
Yes. And where should someone start if they're ready to get out? Where do you recommend they start for that?
Well, again, I think you should be on all sites. But what you want to do is look at what your topic is, and based on your topic, what would be your main platform? Someone looking at an emotional levels, like your people, Linda, I would say Facebook and that more personal site. If you're business oriented and you really want to look at the leadership um, topics, you should be on LinkedIn and Twitter. So,
Yeah. And so, it really depends on who you want to talk to
exactly.
and who your audience is. And that's where you're going to make that impact. So, women's leadership is about visibility.
Definitely.
Great. So let's talk a little bit more about each of you. I know our viewers would love to know your expertise and who do you work with and what do you do for them? What lights you up? So, Cher, why don't you share with us?
Thanks, Laura. So my background is in marketing, in teaching at college, in Toastmasters, as well as being a trained certified hypnotherapist in Hypnotherapy Institute. I do age regression, timeline therapy, a variety of skills that came together that put me in a spot where I realized I have a lot to offer women. So I get to work with brilliant women and help them build their platform and their resilience. And what really fires me up is seeing women go from thinking they need to have a thick skin to realizing that once they have boundaries, once they have a firm understanding of their value, that they can move forward more boldly and with a voice. I believe that for girls to become leaders, they need to see and hear women in leadership that are stepping forth, who are making a statement and making an impact. And you, all of you watching, are already leaders in your community and leaders on a stage that you already have. As soon as you decide to have that impact, it can be very exciting to be able to make a decision to step out and see the change that you're making. You're not trying to hit everybody, but you're trying to have that impact on those people that need to hear you.
Mm. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very inspired, like, yes, it's what we do is so important. Do you have an example of how you help someone do that?
I do. And it's kind of funny because she was one of my first clients. She's this beautiful, intelligent, together lady. And I thought, what am I going to do for her? As we sat down, it was exciting to discover that we're all just human beings. So I worked with a lovely lady named Jill Dunlop. She was running for election here in Ontario, and she is now currently our MPP. And when I sat down with her at first, I thought we were just going to do some media training, get her platform ready, work on her planks. But we quickly realized that the first thing we needed to do was start selling Jill on Jill. She needed to get the confidence to realize she was the right person to run for this role, that she was a great candidate, and that she actually deserved to be elected. So we worked through her anxiety and installed confidence in who she was and what she had to offer. At that point, it became so easy to just work on her poise and her presentation skills, but it all had to start from that confident decision that she was the right person for the role. It was a fabulous opportunity, and she did win the election. So she is currently our MPP in North Simcoe here in Ontario.
Great, and a really beautiful example of women's leadership out in the public frontier there. So, wow, what a wonderful opportunity and gift you had to give and to help the women's leadership movement, shall we say.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Linda, I'd like to learn more about you and your area of expertise. Who do you work with? What lights you up about that? And what do you do with the people you work with?
Well, I think the easiest way to explain that is to kind of tell a little bit about my story. And that is, I was actually a dental hygienist for over 25 years before I became a coach. And I became a coach because I went through therapy, had figured out all the stuff that was going on, but I kept having a problem with stepping outside my comfort zone. That fear kept coming up. So I happened to meet a coach and worked with a coach for a while. And this was 10 years ago, and it changed my life. And so now I work with women who are pretty similar to myself, where they feel kind of stuck. The words I hear, stuck. They feel lost. They feel like they're stuck. They're just can't gain any traction in their life. And so going and getting my coaching credentialing through the International Coach Federation, now I work with women to help get them to where they want to be. And I got to tell you, it was not predictable that I would be sitting here today in front of people. I was terrified. And it is just that it does work. I mean, and collaboration, working together, everything that Cher is saying, that Lorianne saying, that you are doing here, us working together really helps to grow this leadership. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of that and to watch women step into their power.
Me too. It's inspiring to hear your story and how you now work with women to step into their power and to bring forth their visions. I think that is the key with women's leadership. It's not that we're different than men, but we are. But even though we are, it's the fact that we are coming into taking it on. And what do we have to overcome to get there? And so,
Mhm.
hearing your story of overcoming and growth and being an impact now, making an impact is very inspiring. So, thank you, Linda, for your work.
Thank you.
Lori Ann, I'd love to hear more about your expertise in history here and what do you love about what you do and who do you work with and what do you help them do?
Well, I'm the detail person. I'm the person behind the scenes. I actually support speakers and authors in amplifying their message and their presence out there to the world. I'm that detailed person that makes sure nothing falls through the cracks as you guys go out and speak. It's very funny to me that being part of this group has gotten me actually doing the speaking, which isn't exactly my comfort zone, I'll assure you. Um, I like to just do the work and get others seen. So yes, I worked for 15 years to a very well-known thought leader who retired, and I found myself, out of work and laid off at 60. So it's something that I had to embrace my leadership. I've always helped her when she was doing her leadership work, but now I'm embracing it for myself. So it's been such an amazing journey.
That's great. It's wonderful how you now can help more people instead of just one person who is now moved on. So
Exactly.
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And
Thank
very
you. Appreciate
sweet
that.
story to know that you're now there and available for all of us, as you all are, Cher and Linda and Lorianne. And so I wanted to ask each of you, you're here now with us at Women's Speakers Association. I'd like to have you give our viewers a little taste of the value you're already receiving from Women's Speakers Association. So, Cher, you want to speak to that?
Absolutely, Laura. This is such a fabulous network. And it's a great thing to be able to be part of a women's network where people are sharing their advice, sharing their tools, and even just some of those tools you download on the very first day you join the Women's Speakers Association help you become more professional. I love what I do, but if I don't get that out there to the world, then people aren't going to know what it is that I have to offer. And each week, seeing that Women's Speakers Association email arrive in my inbox, it reminds me, get marketing, Cher. Keep letting people know what's going on in your business so that you can help and serve more people. And of course, each email then comes with these great tools, the videos to watch, and the updates in your blog that help me stay motivated, stay inspired, and get on track with marketing, the marketing side of the business.
Yes, we do have to think about marketing, don't we, Lorianne? And yes, I love that you bring that up, because that's what it takes to be a speaker. We had someone earlier on the Facebook page here say, I'm trying to get speaking jobs. And so if you're trying to get speaking events to speak at, that's what we do in some of those trainings. Is we have people who can give you advice in our groups, in our premier group in particular. People are networking all the time. People are often sharing their gigs that are available or they know of, or people that can have them on podcasts and such. So there's a lot of resources and advice giving. And of course, you get your premier member speaker profile that gives you visibility to event planners. So there's just a couple things we can go into more, but I just invite you to go to joinwsa.com if you want to take advantage of what Cher just said. And Linda, I'd love to hear from you. What is the value you love about and receive from Women Speakers Association?
Well, definitely the community is very, very important, and the collaboration that you just mentioned, and also the education. Oh my gosh, there is so much information and resources, and in people and in previous things that you've done. And as Cher said, getting that email, it's like, oh, what are they going to have this week? How can I use this to help me with my speaking? As I am, try getting my speaking off the ground, there's certain things that you offer, and then when I want to take it to the next level, there are certain things that I can do. So it really, I think that the organization really meets people wherever they are in their speaking career. So it's just a really fantastic organization.
You're right. We do have offerings for every level of speaker, believe it or not. There's a lot of training that goes on. There's a lot of mentoring that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of resources that get shared. And sometimes the resources are great for a beginner, and opportunities that are shared that are great for someone who's been on the circuit for a while, shall we say. So thanks for pointing that out. And again, you can go to joinwsa.com and download some of those resources, and or join us at the premier level. And Lorianne, tell us about the value you love from and receive from Women Speakers Association.
Well, I so agree with both Cher and Linda. The support in the community has just been fantastic. I have never been a speaker before, and yet through the mentoring and everything, I have gotten to put together my one sheet, my speaker profile, and I'm offering my expertise to these women in these chats as well. So I'm learning from them, they're learning from me, and it's just been fantastic.
Yeah, so whether you want to be a speaker and earn your living as a speaker, or you want to use speaking as a business development tool to get more exposure, Women Speakers Association is about helping women get more exposure, getting more visibility one way or another for your business or for your speaking solely. Some women have such the passions, the women who, and Rena just joined us and she said, it's awesome to see the variety of experience and background and talents. It's very inspiring. Yes, if you're not around inspiring women enough, you will get flooded. First of all, you will see what women are doing and it'll just naturally move you into action. So I invite you to connect with us in community and here on Facebook at any time. We have our whole playlist of Women Speakers Association's WSA TV premiere show with you can see all the women. Watch a few episodes, they're not that long, and there's incredible resources from women doing amazing things with everyone from youth today to people on their deathbed. Okay. And I'm serious about that. But you'll find a woman that inspires you that you can connect with so easily in our premier group. So we'll see you in the group and we'll see you online, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Women Speakers Association's WSA TV premiere show. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for letting us join your show.